Well, here we go. So, Tony, here we have Inventor 2012 open, and I'm going to go through the process of making that little box that you showed me. See if I got it open there. I don't. But, let's see if we got it open, and I go to my desktop. I believe it's there. There it is, right there. Dun, dun, dun. And we'll skip all the stuff we don't need. There it is. Okay, so that's the PDF I sent you. So I'm going to show you how to build this. Okay, so we'll minimize that, and that has nothing to do with Inventor at all at this point in time. It's just I'm showing you what we did. So I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to go to New. And we get our new file dialog box here, and we have choices here of a default, which in this case is English. We have English, we have metric, and then we have mold designs. So we're going to go to English because that's what your drawings are all laid out in. And we have these choices of all these different things we can make. And what we want to do is we might want to make sheet metal. So we're going to grab the sheet metal and go OK. And here we are with our screen here. And the first thing we want to do is when we go to sheet metal, we get this extra tab up here in the upper left hand corner called sheet metal. So we're going to pick on that extra tab. We're going to slide on over to sheet metal defaults, which is right here. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to create a new default. I'm going to go new, and I'm going to call this aluminum, A-L-U-M, num. And it's going to be the thickness, so 0.125. I'm going to go OK. And then I'm going to go right here under my sheet here and go and pick my material. And you could pick any material you wanted. So obviously you would, if you were using a mild steel, you'd pick that. But in our case, we're going to go to aluminum here. Where is my aluminum? Dun, 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 dun. Well, maybe we're not going to. There it is, right here. So we're going to go. Yeah, there it is, 6061. That's what I wanted, right there, 6061. Okay. So what I did was and again we're going to go to our default here. Make sure that we are on the aluminum 6061. Okay. And go here, go to the default, pick aluminum 6061 right there. Okay, and then back. Oop, excuse me. Aluminum 667, done. Okay, so now you see that in this dialog box, sheet metal defaults, we have aluminum 125. That was the name that we called it. We've picked our material right here, and we're going to do our sheet metal rule using the K factor, and that's a standard bending algorithm that they use. Okay, so it's the default. And use the thickness rule, and so that that means it's going to be the 125. Okay, so we're going to go OK. Now there's some other stuff we want to do there too, which I didn't pull up, and that's when we get to here. Okay, so we're at aluminum 125. The material is our default 6061. You can see that's already picked. Okay. And then done, and then we want to go again, pick on this here, and now we want to go to bend. Okay, and we have a choice of what kind of bend we're going to have, whether we want a straight bend or a curved bend. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to pick round. I like the round one. Okay, and then we got to pick our thickness here, so I'm going to go 0.125 and then a diagonal 2. Okay, that's going to be my bend radius. It's going to be half of the thickness of the material. Okay, which is essentially 0.063. Okay, and we're good with all the rest of that. And if we go to the corners, there's some choices in here that we can make. We can make like a linear weld or a trim to bend, and I'm going to pick the trim to bend. And in the bend intersections, we have round with radius, and I'm going to keep that. Okay, and we are good to go. So I'm going to go done and save edits. Yes. and close this. So the difference between AutoCAD and Inventor is in Inventor we sketch, in AutoCAD we draw. Now they're going to seem really similar at first, but you'll see later on that there really is a difference in the concept of sketching. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to go over here to the right over here in my model tab right here, and I'm going to go to Origin because I want you to be able to see the screen and understand what's going on. Right now we're with our view cube, we're in the front, and so we're looking straight at, and this is the front view. This is now in AutoCAD we look at the world view or the plan view, looking straight down. In Inventor we look straight at the front of the object. So to prove that to you, here we go. We have the YZ, we have the XZ, and now we have the XY plane. There we go. So we're using our XY plane is in the front view. So I'm going to right click on that, and there's this thing called visibility, which I can turn it on and leave it on. Now if you notice right in the center, there's this is 0, 0. This is our AutoCAD 0, 0. Really comes in handy if you build things on that, especially things that are round. You want to use this because later on when you want to use different planes, if I go to here to my home, I'm going to go into an ISO view. Now watch what happens when I turn on a couple other planes. Look at this. Okay, and we do things in AutoCAD by mirroring quite a bit, and we use planes to mirror. You use a plane to mirror. So by having these mirror planes on, or building your object around that center mirror plane, it makes your life a lot easier. Okay, saves you some work. So here we go. Go back to front. I'm right there. I'm going to go up here now, and so I want to sketch. Now we're in the sheet metal tab up here. I'm going to slide on down. You can see sketch is highlighted, and it's telling me, hey, you want to sketch next, Doug. So I'm going to sketch. I'm going to go here and grab my rectangle. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to get close to that, and it's going to get a green dot right on top of the red dot, and that tells me that right on 0, 0. If you look closely, you can see that the dimension that's at the top that I'm going in and out is highlighted with a blue box, and that says, hey, put a number in. So I'm going to type in, I believe that 6 is my first one, and then I'm going to hit not enter but tab, and then I'm going to type in, you can see the next number is highlighted, 12. Okay, so there we go. We got a 6 by 12 sketch. This is not a drawing, it's just a sketch. Okay, and just to prove it to you here, I'm just going to pull this 12 over here. Just to prove it to you, I'm going to go into my home, and you can see that it's just a plane with some lines on it. And these lines don't do anything until I do something next, and that's going to be, I'm going to finish my sketch, and then I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go to Face, and click on Face, and boom, I created a solid object. I'm going to go to Apply, and that solid object, because we're working in sheet metal and we've defined that our material is 125, and if I go up here, there's a little thing called measure device. I can go up here, and if I just pick on that edge, it is 1, 2, and if I went out 3 spaces, it would be 125. Okay. Now I'm going to get rid of my plane here. I'm just going to go over here to my origin, right-click on the plane, and make the plane invisible, so I don't have to fight with it anymore. So this is the 6 by 12 base panel. So I'm going to turn it this way here, and then I'm going to go over here, and first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add on to it, and to do that we use Flange. Flange is very cool, does all the work for you. You pick on Flange, I come in and I pick on the inside edge. Now it's asking me in this dialog box here how long I want that to be. Well, in this case I want that flange to be 5 inches. Now here's the interesting thing. I'm going to zoom in here really close, and I want you to watch right here in the corner as I move these bend positions around. So right now it is from the other corner to this outside corner here, and this outside is 6 inches. When I go now, look what happens. It moves the bend to the outside, so that panel would become like 6 1/4. Okay, and you can play it. You can split the difference if you want. So, but we're going to go to the inside because you were real specific. You wanted a 6x5 panel, okay? And I'm just going to go to apply. Now I'm going to make a mistake in here in a few minutes. I'm going to do something that I'm going to have to back out of because I want to show you that it's important as we lay things out, the process that you actually how you build things. There is a method to the madness here, and you just only can learn it the hard way, which is to do it wrong a couple times. But I'm going to do it once the wrong way and then show you. Okay, so the next thing is we got flanges here at the top. So I'm going to go to my flange, and I'm going to pick the inside, and I'm going to pick the inside. And notice nothing's happening because they're overlapping. So I'm going to go up here, and I believe you want that one to be. Now look at the drop-down list I have here. All the ones I've done this before, so I've already have one. You can just type in one, okay, and apply. And notice that it does the split for you. And just to show you, to prove that to you, you're gonna. This is the best part. This is the best part. I go up to create a flat pattern. Bam! Look at that. There is your flat pattern. It just shows you all your cuts. We've got the round bird's mouth there, and go back to fold it back up. There it is. Okay. So now let's go to the next flange, and we have a flange on the inside here, and the inside here, and I believe that was 0.75. Okay. And apply. There they are. Look at how that nicely fits. Then I believe we had some down here, so I'm going to go to flange, and I'm going to pick down here and pick here, and I'm going to type 0.625, which is 5/8, which is what I believe you asked for. Okay. And then we got this one over on this side here, so we got a flange coming up there. Now this is pretty cool what this does. So I'm going to pick it, and your flange there is 3/4. I think I already have 3/4 in here, so if I go on this drop down arrow, I can just go pick it and go apply. Now look what it does. It sets it back inside and gives us that clearance that we need. And depending on which flange you picked first, it would change which side this is on. If we'd picked this flange first and then done these would be to the inside. Okay. So then let's get back here. Just to show you how this works again, we'll go to flat pattern, and there you go. Hey, there's our basic shape coming to. It's just coming right there. Okay, go back and fold it up. You always have to build in the 3D shape. You can't build anything in the flat. When you go to do anything on the flat, it's not going to do it for you, except you can punch holes, and I'll show you about that in a bit. So now we have our last portion here, which is this one here. And so I'm going to go flange and pick here, and I'm going to go, I believe that's 1 inch, or 1.5, excuse me, 1.5, and go to apply. And look at the dialog box. We get up here, it says flange body intersects with existing body or self intersects, okay, which means no, you can't do that. So I'm going to go cancel, and I'm going to go cancel. Okay, the reason being is I can't run that flange because it's banging into these here. Okay, so I got a couple choices that I can do. Okay, what the easiest thing to do is this. I'm just going to go watch what happens when I go over here into my model, and I pick the flange over here, and watch as I go down. You can see it picks the previous the previous jobs that I've done, okay, the previous folds that I've done. So I'm going to find that fold right there. I'm going to find that fold. I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to go delete. And it just went away, okay? So now we're going to go to flange. I'm going to go to here, and it's still at 1.5. I'm going to go apply, and it let me do it because it folded it on the inside, okay? So now the next thing we want to do is we want to swing this around, and we want to cut that corner out that you had there, okay? So here we have to make a new sketch. I have to create a sketching plane. So to do that, I just hover over the area that I want to sketch, and if we go to 3D here, you can see it's right there. So I'm going to right click, I'm going to go New Sketch. That highlights. Now here's another wonderful tool in Inventor called Project Geometry. I am going to project the back side of this, that plane right there, to the front. So now when I go around here, you can see that that's just sort of a line, an entity in space, but it's on the same plane as this, but it's this plane, okay? So then I'm going to go up here to rectangle. I'm going to pick this point here, and I'm going to go to the, and notice how it highlights when it comes to the edge, okay? And you can see the blue one is there at 1.5, so I could just hit Tab. Now if I hit 1.5 and then Enter, great, that's how I did it. And I can also go in here and double click on this and make this 2, or make this 6, you know. So you have that ability to change that at any time, okay. Again, we have the little drop down arrow here, and I can go back to my 1.5 and hit the check mark, okay. Now when you're done with a sketch, you always pick Finish Sketch, okay. Now I'm going to use a new tool called the Cut tool. I'm going to use the Cut tool. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to highlight this. Okay, see how the little rectangle or little square highlighted? I'm going to pick it. Okay, oops, there we go. And then I'm going to go over here, and it asks me in my Cut dialog box, I pick the profile. Now I can either do distance, which is the thickness of the material, or I could go next to, or from to, or all, okay? Well, I'm going to go distance, and I'm going to go in and go OK, and you can see that it cut it out there. Now look real closely here. You'll see, because I kept it at the same face as this right here, it has that little raised radius there, a little sharp point. Now I can get rid of that. All I have to do is go back into my Cut tool here, right click, and go to Edit, Feature, and I change the depth now, and I'm going to go like 0.18. Let's see what that does. Great, it almost took it right down to this point right there, okay? And so that got that out of there, and that looks really good. Now I'm going to come back around, going to go back to my Flange tool, and I'm going to pick this inside corner, and I believe that was 3/4, okay? And you can see that it does a beautiful job, and because it clears here, we're not going to have a conflict. And there is our project, and now we're going to go to lay flat. Okay. So now that you have your project laid flat here, that's everything that you said that you wanted in your drawing, if I remember right. I'm looking at your drawing. Yep, that's good. Okay, I'm a happy camper. I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to go to the eye up here. I'm going to click once, and I'm going to go New, and I'm going to pick ANSI IDW, which is the drawing. Okay, and I'm going to go OK. And then I'm going to go in here, and I'm just going to bring this in. And I can bring in the current, which is that right there. Okay, I can change the size of it, so I'm going to go to 1 to 2. Okay, park that puppy right there. And I'm also going to change, you see it shaded right now? Right now, if I bring it in, the style right now is going to be hidden line. So I'm going to bring that in and show you. It's telling me that I haven't saved my project here. So let's close this. And I'm using Control Tab to switch between the screens. Okay, so I'm going to save this. I need to save this. So File, Save, and I'm going to save it on the desktop, and I'm going to call it Tony's Box. Okay, great. Okay, now we've saved that. I can go back to here. Now I can bring it in. I'm going to bring it in on the base. Okay, I'm going to bring it in this current, which gives me that sort of ISO view. I like that. Okay, I'm going to just pick it right there, and I'm going to stop right there. Now notice that it's sort of in this hidden mode. So I'm going to go in here and get right there, right click, go to Edit View. I'm going to pick this to hide the hidden lines, and I'm going to hit this to shade it. There we go. There is our project. Okay. Now I'm going to go back and Control Tab. Okay. And I'm going to fold this out flat. Oops, excuse me. Fold to flat. There we go. And Control Tab. And then I'm going to bring it in, and I'm going to bring it in as current. And oops. My bad. Delete. Yes. Why is this not saving? Maybe I need to save this. Oh. Okay, I got to check on something. Okay, don't mind me. I had a little brain fart there. So we're going to bring it in. Okay, so bring in the base, and you have to click right over here in this little window right here. It says Sheet Metal Views. So I'm going to click Flat Pattern. Oh, way to go, Doug. Okay, I'm going to go OK, and it takes a few minutes because it's got to figure it all out. And I'm going to just leave that right there. I'm going to slide this over here like that. Okay. And again, I'm going to right click on this and go to Edit View, and I'm going to go to my shaded view. Okay, I think it's a little easier to see. And then if you haven't done dimensioning in Inventor, it's so wonderful. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple little auxiliaries. I'm going to take this little detail right here and put that right there. And I'm going to take this little detail right here and bring that up there. And then I'm going to take this little detail right here and bring it down here. Okay, and I'll slide this whole thing down just a little bit so give me the clearance up there at the top that I need. Okay, you can turn these little things here. Okay. There it goes. There it goes. So A is pointing to A. We got C pointing to C there. And we got B pointing to B up there. Now these are probably, this text is a little bit big, so I'm going to double click on the text. I'm going to highlight all the text, Control A. I'm going to go in here and make it 100. Okay, makes it just a little bit smaller. Okay, didn't have to hit M for move or anything, so I'm going to double click, Control A, and go up here and pick 1.1. Okay, and double click here, Control A, and pick 1. Okay, there we go. So got all my text there going. That's just looking darn skippy good. I'm happy with that. So now we're going to go to Annotate and go to Dimension. So first thing I'm going to do is going to dimension from here to here, and you can see that it's going to give you the actual sizes of material, including the bend radiuses. Okay. Oops, I didn't want that. So I want an overall. There we go. Okay. And what we might do is we might just take this whole little window right here and slide it over here, and then just swing our little C over there to point to it, and gets it out of the way where I want to do some editing. And this is probably too small a template to be working on. This is only a C size, and I can also make this any of these smaller. I could jump in here. Now watch this. I can jump in here, right click, edit view, and go here 1, 2, 4, and hit that, and you can see that it jumped down in scale. Okay, but all my dimensions stayed the same size. So go back up here to undo and just go back. So the nice thing about this is I can now get in here and do a really nice dimensioning job. It's easy to see. Okay. And I know you guys have machines that cut these little bird's mouths out, and they're already set up, so probably don't have to do a lot of work. And then the things you want to probably want to dimension here is from the edge, the fold line, okay? And where I would go in here and go OK, I would double click this, oops, double click and go to text, and I would go in here and I go fold line, F-O-L-D, if I can spell, there we go, 0.66 fold line, okay? Go in here, I'm doing this one, and I'm going to do F-O-L-D-L-I-N-E. Okay, so you can see that you can it's just amazing how fast you can do all this. Okay, we're going to go over here to that point there and bring that out. Okay, and see that's allowing for the little cutout so we can make the fold. And we've got a fold line here. Now, okay, here, and I'm going to go in here and go fold line. Okay, and you can see that it pushed it out for me. Ah, there we go. And then you can slide it up and down wherever you want. Okay. And again, you could come over here, and I could spec this all out. And even though the text, the object is a completely double scale, the dimensions are all the same, and that's what's just so exciting about Inventor. And I don't know how you guys do this. You know, whatever your office standard is what we'd have to get everybody going to. And there we go. And we need one other dimension, which is this depth of dimension here. Okay, and I wanted to show you about that, so I'm going to just pick on this and move that detail. Now watch what happens, and I double click a couple times and I grab this and I can just move it and slide it on that side, so it makes it a lot cleaner looking. Okay, and we'll bring this down here and put that underneath there. Great. Okay, so obviously I can just keep doing this, but I want to keep this video under 30 minutes, and away we go. Okay, and file, save, and I'm going to use Tony's box now. Now notice that it's an IDW, which is the other part was a sheet metal part. So even though they're the same name, when we save them, it doesn't override the other one. Okay, but it refers to the other object. And here's the big thing. So if I go in here and I unfold this here and I go and I change, let's go to this bottom fold down here, right click on that, go to edit feature, and I'm going to go to the distance, and I'm going to make it 2. Okay, and obviously when we go to sheet metal, oops, not sheet metal, when we go to, you can see that those wings are much farther. Now, this is the fun part. Okay, look at that. That's already in this drawing. I mean, it's just so awesome. You don't have to update anything. It does it all for you. Well, I hope that you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Hopefully you can, you'll be able to see this in the morning before I get there. Okay? Have a great day. I really enjoyed doing this for you. Take care.